Hello again, everybody. Welcome back. Another episode here of Banish the Doubt. I am George McNamara. And in this video, what I want to talk about is I would like for you to think of sitting here or however you're watching me, and you have, or I have, let's say, a clear glass of, let's say, cranberry juice. Okay. And the reason I say that is because it's obviously red, right? And I'd like for you to think of your thoughts, the thoughts that I feel good, that I no longer identify with thoughts of lack, thoughts of limitation, thoughts of lack of wealth, or lack of health, or lack of energy, or whatever it may be, that I am now going to see myself, my life, through this prism of I am enough, I am wealthy, I am a billionaire, whatever it may be, I am perfect health. And each time you have this thought, each time you have this present thought right now, in this moment, you're taking a, a drop of clear water and we're putting it into this glass filled with cranberry juice. Because in working with some of you, some people, they're talking to me about, hey, I've been doing this for a while, or I don't understand. Um, I keep thinking these thoughts, but nothing's really changing. I don't know why I keep having these thoughts. And each time you have a thought that is contrary to the thought of, I am enough, I am right now, everything works out for me, my life is working out for me all the time, I am perfect, whole, I am the observer observing my life, I am not identified with the emotions. I'm allowing the emotions to come through. I'm allowing the thoughts to come through, to be there, but I'm no longer identifying with them. Each time you find yourself questioning, wondering, analyzing, you're taking that same, let's say, dropper, the droplet, or the same spoon, let's say a teaspoon, and you're putting red cranberry juice back into that glass. Each time you have a thought that says, no, no, wait a minute, I'm allowing the thoughts to come, they're here, but they're the old conditioned thoughts from when I was a child. I no longer identify with them. I recognize them, but I'm no longer identifying with them. I'm taking a teaspoon of clear water in there into the cranberry juice. And you see where I'm going with this. Eventually, the more clear water we put into the cup, into this glass, eventually the red cranberry juice starts to turn to be more clear. You start to see the influence. You start seeing serendipities. You start seeing signs in your world, in your reality, that I am. The new identity is taking over. The new identity is breaking through the old thinking. You see, because the old thinking is nothing more than the ego. The ego wants to control. The ego says, I have to control everything going on in my life. The ego says, oh no, I have to be involved with whatever is taking place in this world, even though I can't control it. I have to get involved with political discourse. The ego says, oh, it's us, our tribe versus that tribe. The ego is my, whatever it is I have identified. That's how I get my identity, from what I own, who I'm with, who I'm friends with, what kind of car I drive, the house I live in, the neighborhood I live in. That's all the ego. The observer, who you actually are, who we all are, is this observer observing everything. It's silent. It stands back. It's not involved. It allows everything to take place. When we identify with that, that's truly who we are. The observer is the ocean, allowing the waves of emotion to go through it, to go across it. The observer is the sky, allowing the clouds of joy, of despair, of hate, of love to go through. The anxieties, but it's pure love. The I that is you is pure love. It doesn't identify with anything else. So when you can live your life now, in that moment, because everything is right now, right here, as the observer, as I allow things to just be, but my focus is on in this very moment, I am that I am. I am pure love. I am wealth. I am success. I am health. I am abundance. The more that you can do this, the more that you can understand that regardless of whatever it is that I desire to have in my life, it is taking place right now. I am the one who calls it forth in this moment. The ego says, wait a minute, we've been doing this for 6 months now and nothing's happened. The ego says, are you sure those things really work? I had a friend or a sister or a cousin or whatever neighbor who did that for 4 or 5 years and nothing ever happened. Because the ego likes familiarity. It wants things to be familiar. It doesn't like change. The ego resists change. That's why the word familiar, the root of the word is of the household, of the family. So this is how we're able to live in this moment, be in this moment, allow circumstances to take place in this moment, but not be emotionally or in any way attached to it, especially if whatever is taking place is not in alignment with that I am, that I am. If it's not in alignment with those thoughts, what you see, what you want to see. Your life, who you truly are, is the screen. And the scenes on the screen being projected onto the screen are all the previous thoughts from when you were a child, how you were raised, the belief system, the assumptions, the perceptions, the definitions of who you think you are playing out on that screen. And what we've done, the majority of our life, is identified with those scenes as if they are who we are. We get our definitions from those scenes. We get our assumptions of who we are from those scenes, the people and the places and the events taking place. We identify with who they are. Or we identify that who they are is a reflection of us, is who I am, that somehow must be me. I identify with the opinions of others, with the judgments of others. But who we are is the observer observing all that. That's truly who you and I are. So, from this point forward, we look, we see, we live life, we allow the emotions to come through us, to, and then continue. Because if you don't identify with the thought, right, if you just allow it to be, eventually it just dissipates. Because the ego likes to get its hooks into you. But if you allow the ego just to be there, the thought, that's all it is. The ego is just a thought. If you just allow it to be there, don't identify with it and say, okay, I feel it, I see it, I can feel those feelings, I understand those feelings. They're the old feelings, but I'm not identifying with them anymore. Eventually, It leaves. But your focus is on who you say you are in every moment. As an example, or how we can start to fortify this. If you are someone who says, I am wealth, I am abundant, I am prosperity, I am success, allow me to ask you, how many times yesterday, or how many times before you watch this, did you put yourself in the arena where success, however you identify it, wealth, however you identify it, abundance, prosperity, you were there, you were around that. If success to you, or wealth, or something you desire, let's say, is so very expensive, or very light, nice, top of the line clothing, how often did you go around to stores where they sell that type of clothing? Just be in the environment of that. Try those clothes on. See yourself wearing those clothes all the time. How many times have you actually gone into a dealership and sat inside the car that you identify with that as being success? Sit inside of a Ferrari or a Porsche or a Mercedes. See what I'm saying? Because that helps to fortify it. It helps to fortify the I am that I am right here in this moment. This moment. Get around all that feeling. Solidify that feeling. Health. Go into a health or Whole Foods market, or something where that type of food is everywhere. Purchase a little bit of that food. Eat it. See yourself as perfect health. Relationships. If you're identifying with a healthy, harmonious relationship, get around people who live that way, who have this sense of I am enough, that I am in the perfect relationship. Be around the people who live their lives not associated with gossip or judgment. They're filled with love for themselves. So this is how we do it. This is, we first identify with it. We observe. We understand. We're the observer. We understand that the thoughts and emotions and feelings are going to come to us. And this is the old thinking. We don't identify with it. We allow the thoughts and feelings to come through. We recognize them as the ego, but we say, I am, even though these circumstances are taking place in the events in my world, in my reality, but I'm not identifying with it anymore. I am. We're not suppressing them. We're allowing them to come through, but I choose in this moment to be who I desire to be and live my life in every single moment. I am living it right now, right here. Thank you.